YouTube, what up, man? What's the dealio? What's the dealio? Hey, listen, I got something for you today. All right, I got a message for you. I got several messages for you. So, man, if you just tuning in, man, say what's up. Say what's up. Let me know where you tuning in from. All right. I wanted to come on today and talk about some good stuff, right? I want to talk about building yourself up, all right, and preparing yourself for what's to come, all right. You got, we all got blessings and abundance coming our way. I want you to understand that you got blessings and abundance coming your way. We all do, but how do you build yourself up and prepare for that? All right. How do we really prepare for that? I'm gonna share some things that you can do to build yourself up. I'm gonna also share some things that I've done to build myself up, throughout the years. So if you just hopping on, man, say what's up and be sure to like this video. All right. Let's get this video to 100 likes. All right. We gonna be cooking tonight. All right. We gonna be cooking in the kitchen. What's up, QTZ? What up, Shali? Brielle, what's up? What up? Krista, how you doing? What up, Adam? Oh, Toya. Okay, what's up, Toya? What's up, V? How you doing today? Listen. I want y'all to understand something, right? I want you to understand something. I want you to understand that I was taught that greatness and abundance, right, is truly your birthright. And at some point in time, you was lied to and you believed the lie. We all believed the lie. We all bought into the lie that it's not our birthright. We don't really deserve it. And what happens is we start to really self-sabotage our way out of the things that is already our birthright. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it, man. We're going to get into it. Miss Virgo, what's up? What's up, Fleetwood? What's up, Gigi? Hey, shout out to Gigi, man. Gigi is consistently killing it. $1,000 days easy for Gigi. Shout out to you, Gigi. Shout out to Fleetwood, right? First 3K day yesterday, right? Last week, first $1,000 day in the stock market. All right, shout out to Gigi. Shout out to Fleet. Shout out to QTZ, Brielle. Shout out to everybody in the Discord. Shout out to everybody who said, you know what? I'm about to get in the stock market game. Shout out to everybody who said, I'm about to go make this happen. All right, shout out to all of y'all. I want y'all to understand what y'all are doing is special, because what you're doing is you answered the call for yourself. You answered the call for your future. You answered the call for your higher self. So shout out to you, man. This is just the beginning for what's to come. So I want you to understand that. All right? I want you to understand that. It's way deeper than the stock market. It's way deeper than an option trade. All right? We could talk about stocks and options all day, but I wanna really take some time, man, to really pour into you, right? To pour into your spirit, to give you something, right? What up, Popilla? Popilla with the Skrilla. Shout out to Popilla too, man. Popilla I remember when he first started, his gains was small, but now they starting to grow. 40% bangers. You know what I'm saying? First $200-$300 day. So shout out to Popilla. All right. What up, Zoe? How you doing? All right, y'all. So check this out, man. I want you to understand, right? What's up, Moneybag Jeff? There's something that there's a couple phrases, right? One of the phrases that I like is fortune favors the bold. Okay? But in order to be bold, you got to understand, what are you being bold for? We're going to cook today. All right? We're going to cook today. So be sure to understand what I'm saying and let this hit you. All right? If you're watching this, be sure to like this video. But fortune favors the bold. And so it's like, what are you being bold for? Okay? What are you being bold for? And so the next thing is like, all right, if I want to get the things that I want to get in life, I need to really make sure that I'm built up. I need to make sure that I got my strength built up inside of me. I'm grounded, right? And so as I think about it, over time, as I think about it over the years, right? There's been certain things that I've done that have kind of like helped me get over the edge, right? And over time, what that's done is I've been able to put all those things in my toolkit, and now I could, use those things when I need to, or I could use those things routinely, because it's all about a routine, right? If you don't have a routine, you don't really have anything. You have no grounding. And so what I wanna really like take the time and share with you, man, is like, how do we build ourselves up and really get ready for the blessings that's really coming, right? Because you got blessings on the way. So check this out. First things first, man. If you just now tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where you tuning in from, and be sure to like this video, because we gonna cook tonight. I'm gonna bless y'all. All right, I'm gonna bless y'all. I was told to give you this message. This is way deeper than the stock market. All right. But first things first. All right. First things first. It's time for you to write it down. All right. Shawty said the collective is online tonight. Prosperity fam in the house. What's up, Joe? Yeah. Hey, the whole prosperity gang is up in here tonight. Yeah, share this with a friend too. All right. Share this with somebody, because this video right here is going to bless a lot of people. All right. It's going to bless a lot of people. Because I could talk about stocks, right? But there's a whole different side of everything. All right. There's a whole different side of everything. And I want you guys to understand. That in order to be effective in the stock market, you got to be effective within yourself. And it's a lot of work you have to do on yourself. And the work that you have to do on yourself, it never stops. You feel what I'm saying? The work never stops. The work never stops. So if you can make it a part of your routine and have these certain things ingrained in your head and ingrained in your being, you're going to always be just on the rise consistently. You see what I'm saying? So the first things first, right? We talking about how do we build ourselves up. I'm going to expound upon all of these things, right? But the first one, man, first thing, write it down. Straight up, write it down. Write it down, write it down. You remember when we was in elementary school and we was learning how to write cursive, right? What did we have to do? We had to write down the letter L in cursive on a whole line, uppercase. And then we had to do it lowercase on another line. And then we had to do a K in cursive, uppercase and lowercase, right? We had to write it down over and over and over again, right? So it's like, we did these things in elementary school. Why are we not doing them in our adult life? But not just cursive. What about the things that we want? What about the things that we desire? How often are you writing the things down? I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes you could get so on autopilot that you wrote it down one time 6 months ago and you think that's good enough. But let me tell you something, it's not good enough. Write your stuff down consistently, because sometimes you got to update what you wrote down. So how you going to know that there's an update if you're not consistently checking in with it? You got to write it down. Write it down. Get you a journal. Get you multiple journals for multiple different things. But you got to write this stuff down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. So something I did was, I did this a couple years ago. No, it was like, I would say I started doing this like 5-6 years ago. Something called a January letter, right? This January letter, every January, I would write a letter to myself dated December 31st of that year, as if I was talking to myself on December 31st. And I was telling myself what happened throughout the whole year and what I accomplished. And then I put that letter in the envelope. And I don't even read it for the whole year, right? But I wrote it down is what I'm saying. So I started the year off with writing something down. Not just what my goals was for the year, but I wrote it down. I wrote down what I already did for the whole year. I called it a January letter. Hear what I'm saying? You got to write it down. You got to write it down. You got to write it down on multiple different aspects of your life. If you don't write it down, how is it going to come to fruition? The whole Bible say write it down and make it plain. It's easier to remember what you wrote down. They say a dull pencil is sharper than a sharp mind. That's what they say. You got to write it down, y'all. First thing. You got to write it down. Spell casting, right? When you write stuff down, you are making a direct, like, you're setting a spell. And then when you couple that with your words and the power of your tongue, you putting that in your subconscious. Write it down. I don't care what it is you want. Write it down. Write it down. They was teaching us in school the power of writing it down. What happened when we was bad and we would have to go to detention? Or we see it on the cartoons or the TV shows. The kid go to detention. And then what they say they had to do, they would have to write down, I will not do X anymore. You have to write it down 50 times. Why did they have the kid doing that? Because they wanted the kid to get that ingrained in their brain that they weren't going to do that same thing that landed them in detention. So what if you wrote down every single day 25 times, I am a multimillionaire. I am abundant. I attract X, Y, and Z. I am a money magnet, right? I experience abundant miracles every single day. I expect good things to happen to and through me. What if you wrote that down every single day? I get it, we all busy. But you gotta have some type of routine, a weekly routine, a daily routine, a monthly routine. You gotta have some type of routine. But I want you to understand that it starts with writing it down. It starts with writing it down. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you just tuning in, you in for a treat. Be sure to like this video. Get this video to 100 likes, y'all. Get this video to 100 likes. I was told to put this topic together and bring it to you. So understand this. I was told to give this message to you. Let's get this video to 100 likes. Share this with somebody that you know. Tell them to come hop on in, because somebody's life is about to be changed. Somebody is going to get a seed planted in them today. Somebody is going to change their perspective. Today is going to be transformational for you in this next hour. All right? So write it down. That's how you build yourself up. Write it down. Stop playing with it. Right? Stop operating out of your mind. What do I always say, y'all? Say it with me. Get out of your head. Say it with me. And get into this what? This world. Why? Because your head is a dangerous place to live. Get out of your head, yo. Write it down. Write it on paper. This is how you build yourself up. This is how you build your life up. Write it down. I can't emphasize it enough. Write it down. I don't care what nobody talking about. I don't care what the world talking about. I don't care how much in flames the world is. It ain't about that. Because you know what? You create your reality. You create your reality. I need you to understand that. The world don't create your reality. You create your reality. And let me tell you why. Because the world, right, the powers that be, the environments that we living in, that's the reality that was created. But you get to choose if you're going to subject yourself to that, or if you're going to create your own reality and live within your own reality. You see what I'm saying? So first things first, write that stuff down. This ain't a game out here. We're not playing today. We ain't playing today. I came to feed your spirit. I came to feed your soul today. All right? We could talk about the charts, but I came to give you something that is priceless. All right? So this is how you build yourself up. You write it down first. First things first, write it down. All right? All right? If you just tuning in, man, say what's up. What's up, Best Beezy? What up, EQ? Yeah, like this video, share this with a friend. All right, let me know where you're tuning in from if you have not already. All right, write that stuff down. Now, second thing. The second thing that you could do, all right, follow what I'm saying here. All right, follow what I'm saying right now. Follow what I'm saying. Like this video. The second thing, here's a question that I need you to ask. What up, Mason? I need you to ask this, all right? I need you to ask this to yourself, all right? Hear what I'm about to say. Listen with intent ears, okay? Ask yourself this right here. Ask yourself this right here. How am I responsible for what I'm experiencing? How am I responsible for what I'm experiencing? All right? Now, let me break this down. Yes, somebody else probably did something that contributed to what you experiencing. Yeah, you right. But let me tell you this, and this is a very harsh lesson that I've learned. You give away your power. You give away your power when you don't ask yourself, how am I responsible? Because if you don't ask yourself, how am I responsible, you are never going to be able to make any type of changes because you're always going to be waiting on somebody else to make the change. Hear what I'm saying? This is what I'm talking about, building yourself up. Do you know how hard it is to look in the mirror? It's hard for everybody. It's hard for everybody to look in the mirror. And that's why so many people do not get where they want to go, because they cannot look in the mirror. You know why? Because they too busy being led by the ego. Okay? So ask yourself this right here. How am I responsible for what I'm experiencing? And ask yourself that question independent of what anybody else contributed to where you at right now. Because I want you to understand you got the power. Don't ever fall into the trap of thinking you don't got the power. I know other people be involved in stuff. I know it be complicated. I know things be complex, but I want you to always remember you got the power. If you don't feel like you got the power, then you don't got no hope. You got the power to change your actions. Therefore, you got the power to change your life. You got the power to change your thoughts. Therefore, you got the power to change your life. You got the power to change your habits. Therefore, you got the power to change your life. You got the power to change your routine. Therefore, you got the power to change your life. You got the power to change how you talk to yourself. Therefore, you got the power to change your life. You see what I'm saying? You got the power is what I'm saying. You got the power. But in order to operate in that understanding of you having the power, you got to understand that you have to ask yourself, how am I responsible? How am I responsible? I don't care about nobody else. Say this with me. I don't care what nobody else did, because here's something that I learned. you got contributing factors, and you got determining factors, okay? So where you are in your life, whatever situation you in, somebody else may have contributed to that, but it was not a determining factor of where you at. The determining factor was your decision making. The determining factor was you. The determining factor was you said yes. You said no. The determining factor was you bought that ticket. You did that. You drove that car. You went here that night. You did something you wasn't supposed to do. That was the determining factor. So yes, somebody could have been contributing, but they weren't a determining factor. And so stop making other people the reason and the excuse why you in the situation you in your life. So you got to sit here and ask yourself, how am I responsible for where I'm at? How am I responsible for the situation that I'm in? You have to ask yourself that. If you do not ask yourself that, you are going to give away your power every single time, and you are going to be powerless, and you will never get where you want to go. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on. I got so much more. I got so much more. I want you to understand what I'm saying right here. I want you to understand what I'm saying. This is how you build yourself up. It ain't about the world. It ain't about the external. It's not. It's about here. It's about here. All right? It's not about what's out. It's about what's in. It's called inner engineering. It's called working on yourself. It's called introspection. Okay? I hope you picking up what I'm putting down. All right? I was told to give this message to you. So I hope you receiving it. All right? If you just tuning in, say what's up in the comments. Like this video. Let me know where you tuning in from. I got more for you. We talking about how to build yourself up. All right? What's up, Gary? What up, Kevin? What up, bro? Selly? When you blame someone else for your situation, yes, you're giving away your power. Stop giving away your power because you got the power. I'm telling you, you got the power. Understand what I'm saying. You have the power. If you understood how much power you got, you wouldn't blame other people. The more you blame people, the longer it's going to take you to get where you want to go. The more you blame people, the longer it's going to take you to get where you want to go. I hope you're hearing what I'm saying. I hope you hear what I'm saying. All right? Next thing. All right? How to build yourself up. Get ready for your blessings. Get ready for your abundance. All right? The next thing. Here we go. You ready for this one? The next thing you got to do to build yourself up. It's time to strengthen your muscles. Okay? It's time to strengthen your muscles. Yeah? What do I mean by strengthening your muscles? Do I mean going to the gym? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Be sure to like this video, all right? Strengthen your muscles. It's time to strengthen your spiritual muscles, okay? It's time to strengthen your physical muscles. It's time to strengthen your brain, okay? It's time to strengthen your emotional muscles. Let's break this down, okay? Let's really go into it, all right? This is how you build yourself up. Let me give you an example. Emotional muscles. Emotions is one of those things that a lot of people struggle with, right? Men, they say men struggle with emotions a lot. Women do too, right? It'd be all kind of stuff, right? Trauma, childhood experiences, all that stuff. But how are you going to overcome? How are you going to overcome certain things in your life if you don't practice, right? If you don't put it into practice, put it into play. It could be something as simple as calling your sister, calling your mom and being like, yo, you know that I love you, right? If you don't aren't the best with affection, then go practice affection. That's called strengthening the muscles. That's where growth comes from. It's so easy to run away and dance around all the things that make us uncomfortable. How long are you going to live your life dancing around all the things that make you uncomfortable? How long are you going to dance around all the things that's making you uncomfortable? It's time to address them, and it's time to strengthen the muscles. And the way we strengthen things is by going through it and not dancing around it. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? The only way to something is through something. That's what I do believe. I'm not just saying this. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Of course it's hard. But you know what else is hard? Looking up 8 years later and you in the same place. You in the same place that you've been in. That's hard too. But you ain't gonna realize it's hard until you 55 and now you living in regret because you ain't done what you should have done. Because you ain't addressed the demons that you should have addressed. Because you couldn't get over yourself and just do the certain things that you know you should have done, but your ego and your pride was in the way. They say the pride come before the fall. They say the pride come before the fall. If you put your pride before the thing, you're going to fall, right? Strengthen your muscles, your physical muscles, right? Let's really understand this. You got to move your body. You got to move your body. You have to move your body, right? You have to move your body. You have to do strength training, okay? Because let me tell you something. There are studies that as you get older, I know everybody wants to be young forever, right? Everybody want to be young forever. As you get older, there is a direct correlation with strength training and aging. Strength training and aging, right? They say a man between the ages of 28 and 34, the average 28 to 34-year-old can only do like 20 push-ups straight. Come on now. 20 push-ups? Come on now. It's stuff like that, right? You got to strengthen your muscles. You got to strengthen your physical muscles, your emotional muscles. Strengthen those muscles. Get in the gym. Go do things that make you tired. Anaerobic exercises. Aerobic exercises. Go do things that challenge your body. You have to. Because you're going to get 35, 40, 45 years old. Hear what I'm saying. You're going to get older and older. And then you're going to be looking at yourself and you're not going to like how you look. And this is what I'm talking about asking yourself, how am I responsible? If you just worked out and you kept your muscles tight, you wouldn't not like how you look, right? Strengthen your muscles. Strengthen your muscles. Real talk. Spiritual muscles. Work on your intuition, right? Work on your intuition. Work on trusting God, but understanding that God is within you, therefore trusting yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? Work on trusting God, but understanding that God is within you and you got to trust yourself. You see real talk, y'all. I'm being serious right now. You got to strengthen that spiritual muscle of trusting yourself. It's so easy to put everything on everybody else. It's so easy to say, I didn't make this decision. It's his fault. It's her fault. It's their fault. It ain't my fault. I'm just here. And then what does that do? That makes you a victim. That makes you a victim. But we grown. We are grown. Grown people are not victims. Do you see what I'm saying? If you see what I'm saying, let me know. If you understand what I'm saying right now, let me know. Keith said, just when I thought maybe these messages wasn't meant for me today, and bang. Yeah. Hey, messages find you when they find you. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get you a pulpit. Hey, we gonna get one day. You know what's funny? Here's what's funny, y'all. And let me say this. And this is a real life thing. When I was younger, I would always get told, Isiah always trying to preach. Or even when I was like in the military and I had friends and stuff, and I would always be trying to, I would just be being me, right? Isiah always trying to preach. They just wanted to go party. They didn't want to really hear what I was saying. Some people would make fun of me for it, right? Some people would try to clown me for preaching. He always trying to preach. He always trying to preach. But now those are the same people that aren't where they want to be at in life. But watch this. I'm still doing it right now. But the only difference is I embraced Isiah always trying to preach. I embraced it. The things that people try to make fun of about you are your gifts. Understand what I'm saying. The things that people try to make fun of about you are your gifts, and it's time for you to embrace it all. So when Brielle said that about the pulpit, it just made me think about that. You know what I'm saying? What the helly? What the helly? You know what I'm saying? No victim over here. Take accountability. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we ain't no victims over here, all right? So we talking about how to build yourself up. We talking about how to build yourself up, y'all. You gotta really strengthen your spiritual muscles. You gotta strengthen your physical muscles, your emotional muscles. All right? Strengthen your muscles to build yourself up. Like real talk. That's your light. Nah, for sure. It's your light. Don't ever let nobody think that they clowning you. See, let me tell you what's happening. When somebody tries to clown you, that's the universe giving you a sign trying to let you know what your gift is. Because let me tell you what that's doing. That's somebody being insecure and telling you, I see how big your light is and I see your gift so clearly, it makes me feel small and afraid, so I'm going to make a joke out of it. Hear what I'm saying? That's what that's saying. Yeah, we could get in the stock market and make the money and stuff, but okay, so you making the money, now what? We still got to build ourselves up. We still got to be a person. We still got to have principles. We still got to have morals. This is what matters, y'all. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't let the money blind you. Don't let the money blind you. Always be working on yourself. Always be working on yourself, all right? The next thing, how to build yourself up. How to build yourself up. Watch this. Y'all ready? Look, I'm just getting warmed up, just so you know. I could do this for the next 3.5 hours. No lie. Charlie know. The people that know me in real life, they know I could do this for 3.5 hours straight. All right, I'm just getting warmed up. Right? I got my water right here. I'm just getting warmed up. All right? So check it out. The next thing to do to build yourself up. Like this video, all right? Let's get this live to 100 likes. All right. We touching souls tonight. We touching souls tonight, yo. All right. This is going to help you become a better person, a better trader, a better investor, a better entrepreneur. It's going to help you be a better everything. This is how you build yourself up. All right. The next thing that you can do to build yourself up. Hear what I'm about to say, all right? You ready for this one? A lot of people don't want to do it. Spend time in solitude. There we go. Spend time in solitude. Spend time in solitude, all right? Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. How many of y'all know people? How many of y'all know people that can't stay in the house? They can't stay in the house. Always out. Always got something to do. Always going somewhere. But everywhere they're going is doing nothing for them. Everywhere they're going, everything they're doing is doing nothing for them. Don't matter if it's a dude or a woman. They always got a date. They always shopping. They always at brunch, right? They always doing something. Always spending some money that they don't got, right? But they can't even tell you what they want to do over the next 90 days. They can't even tell you what they're looking to accomplish over the next year. They can't tell you where they want to be at by the end of the year. They can't tell you how much they love their family. But they could tell you the newest brunch spot. They can tell you what's going on Instagram and TikTok, the most viral, dramatic thing that the shade room or spiritual word is sharing, but they can't tell you what they learned from a book. It's because they're not spending time by themselves. They're not spending time by themselves. Let me share this with y'all. When I moved to Vegas, right? I started this thing. And I started this thing. Every single Sunday, I had something called a spiritual day, right? Every Sunday, I would fast. I would fast from food, all right, no food. I would do a juice fast, juice cleanse on Sundays. I would not listen to any music on Sundays, okay? I would spend time in the house, or maybe like go outside or go to the gym or whatever. And I would journal and I would meditate every single Sunday. That was my day. I met Shali doing that. She met me and I was doing that. And that's why she say I was a breatharian. Right? That's why she said I was a breatharian. But every single Sunday, that was a part of my weekly routine. I ain't talk to nobody. I ain't even talk to my mama on Sundays. My mom knew if she called me or if she texted me on a Sunday, I was going to get back to her on Monday. Because I was spending that time with myself. I was spending that time with myself. Isolating myself from everything. Right? Getting rid of everything that could be a potential distraction. You know, one of the biggest distractions in the world is food, especially in America. because they injecting it with chemicals and high fructose corn syrup and all this other stuff, right? It's one of the biggest distractions in the world right there. So every Sunday, I would take time to isolate myself from everything. Isolate myself from everything. And that, on those Sundays, it helped me so much. Because when your world is quiet, you can hear clearly and you can hear loudly. You can hear loudly. Right? And when you are able to hear clearly, you know what you're hearing. Because when you got all this chaos going on, right? When you got all this chaos going on, the devil sound like the angel. The angel sound like the devil. Right? So you ain't able to really decipher what you should do, because all voices sound the same when you got all this chaos. But when you can sit back and you can get rid of all the distractions and you can just sit down with yourself, you can get rid of all the noise, you could think clearly and you'll know what's being said. Let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say you like listening to rap music, but like a particular type of rap music. Let's say you like listening to the bullshit rap music, right? And you start to fall into certain habits, but you know it ain't you. And then we start to reverse engineer it, and we start to understand that you're not making these decisions because that's who you are. You're making these decisions because the voice in your head that's coming from that rap music is what is influencing your decision making. Come on now. Like, seriously. A lot of times, the voices that you are hearing are, and the decisions that you're making, they're not even yours. I'm sorry to tell you. A lot of times, it's somebody else's voice in your head that's influencing your decision making. I'm telling you, yo. I'm telling you. You gotta learn how to get rid of all the chatter, all the excess, right? And you gotta learn how to be able to hear yourself. And that's it. Gerald said, yo, talking to myself is how I got into the stock market. It was a suggestion from Spirit, I swear. Hey, so Gerald, before you got into the stock market, what were you doing? Like, you know, where do you work at right now, right? Like, what made you get into the stock market? What's up, Trees? But I'm telling you guys, like, you got to be able to quiet out the noise so that you can hear the real. If you can't hear the real, you ain't never going to get where you want to go. Because you may have somebody who's a friend, right? Who's a friend, but they ain't really a friend. A friend that always got some bullshit to say, right? Or it could be a chick you messing with, woman that you messing with, or a man that you messing with, right? But they always got some snarky stuff to say about you and what you doing, right? If they voice gets in your head too much, you gonna make decisions based on their voice. And you ain't gonna be making decisions based on the voice that you know to be true, because that's the whole reason why you embarked upon a journey that you embarked upon. So you gotta understand, you gotta spend that time alone so that you could continue to hear your voice clearly and not letting other people's voices inside of your world and clouding your decision-making ability. Do you see what I'm saying here? Do you see what I'm saying here? Fleet said tunnel vision. Absolutely. Dr. Energy. Yeah. Everything. He said he do home deliveries for Lowe's. Okay. Still do. Okay. So that sounds pretty flexible. Now, how would you say your life has kind of like started to shift ever since you started like locking in the stock market? Let's go there. All right. So I got a few more for y'all on how to build yourself up. I could do this all day. All right. Something else. Something else that's imperative. Something else that's imperative, all right? Let's think about this right here. Let's think about this right here. You got to learn how, watch this. Watch this. You got to learn how to create your values. Okay? You got to learn how to create your values. Let me give you some examples. Okay? This goes back to writing it down. Let's say you got a friend, right? It don't matter if you're a man or a woman. You got a friend, all right? And let's say that friend is, let's say they doing their thing in life. Life looks good on the outside. They driving the freshest the freshest Benz, right? They look like they popping, they got it together. But you know that they got certain demons that's just eating them alive, that does not align with your values. But you with this person, you friends with this person just on some bullshit, just off of superficial shit, right? If that don't align with your values, you got to learn how to be like, you know what? This is not a person that I want to continue to be associated with. You got to be led by your values and not led by like the superficial stuff of the world. Hear what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying, yo? Right? Allow your values to help guide you in your life. So write down things that you value. Write down things that you value. Write down things that you value that are important to you. And don't associate yourself with people that would force you to compromise those values. Don't associate yourself with things that would compromise you, make you compromise your values. Values, principles, right? Your purpose. This is how you build yourself up. You got to know what your values are. So you just about to be out here valueless, not knowing what you value, not knowing what's important to you. You got to be able to stand on business. Like real talk. You got to be willing to stand on business. I feel like you're putting me on blast right now. Good to hear though. Yeah, hey, look, I ain't putting nobody on blast. I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to understand that everything that I'm saying, like real talk, is with so much love, but also I have lived at least 3 different lives in one life. I've literally lived multiple lives in one life. And so because of that, I have so much experience and exposure to different things and lessons. And I just want to share those lessons. And a lot of times the lessons that I share, a lot of people are able to relate to because it's stuff that everybody goes through and experiences. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, Gerald said making his money work for him while he making money. Yeah, yep. I can see myself buying land, property. I just know that's truly it's truly possible for me to win. Stop comparing my journey to others. Yeah, yep. Whole Discord gonna be in a different place in 5 years. No, facts. Yeah, the Discord gonna be crazy in 5 years. Um, yeah. See, he said something important. Stop comparing my journey to others. Listen, that's a principle right there. Comparison is a thief of joy, right? Think about this, right? Think about this. Think about this. You having a perfectly fine day, right? Perfectly fine day. Then you get on Instagram. Let me give you a perfect example. You made $200 in the stock market today, right? Let's just say. You make $200 in the stock market. Your account is at 2K, let's just say, right? You like, man, I had a good day in the stock market. You get online and you see somebody talking about how they made 30K in 20 minutes. And you like, damn, my $200 ain't nothing. Damn, I only got 2,000 in my account. Man, what am I doing? And now you start going down this rabbit hole of negativity. You was just feeling good, but you started comparing yourself to somebody else. Now you feeling bad about your own self when you were just feeling good about the same exact situation. That's why you got to stop comparing yourself and your journey to other people's journey, because none of it is real anyway. Tell me if I'm lying. Who has ever done that? Who has ever had a good day in the stock market and then you saw somebody else and it was they made way more money, and then you started comparing yourself to what they did, and then you started feeling a little bit low? I've done it before. Like, damn. But you got to snap out of it. You got to snap out of it fast. Right? You got to snap out of it fast. Because you can't allow that to send you down a rabbit hole of negativity, because you sending signs to your body, to your mind, to your cells, and to the universe, right? You got to understand that it ain't supposed to be like that. Right? It ain't supposed to be like that. You got to be thankful and grateful for where you at, and you got to be happy and content with the progress that you are making, because you're making the progress. Right? You are making the progress. He said, I done it in a Prophets tab in the Discord. Right. But hey, but look, shout out to you, Gerald, because look at this, right? Let me show some love, right, to Gerald. He said, let's go to Gerald real quick. Look at this. 300% trade. 300% trade. Y'all see, 300% trade. Right? And then what about earlier? Earlier in the day, right? He hit another banger. Where's he at? Oh, here we go. 400% trade. Right? So let me break this down for you. Right? Let me break this down for you, Gerald. If you would have put $500 in both of those trades, you would have made, so that's $1,000. You would have made about $7,000 in profits, because you would have got 700% return on your money. That's a 7x, right? So it ain't about the money. This is why I always preach percentages. Focus on the percentage. Don't focus on the dollar amount. You got 2 trades in one day that are over 300% each. Shout out to that. All that means is you on your way to becoming a multimillionaire. That's all it means. You just got to stay the course and keep showing up every day. You know what I'm saying? May say, yeah, you see a 22-year-old driving a Lambo and be like, man, I need that. Hey, look. So let me give y'all some real game right here, right? Let me give y'all something. This is what somebody told me one time before. This will help you with all your comparison, all right? Because you just said it, right? You see a 22-year-old driving a Lambo. A lot of times that stuff be leased, okay? That stuff be leased. But watch this. Hear what I'm about to say. Hear what I'm about to say. If you take, if you put everybody in a circle, right? Put everybody in a circle, and you have everybody throw all their problems in the middle of the circle. I promise you, you're gonna take your own problems back. You are gonna take your own problems back, because you're gonna start to see all the problems that everybody else got. And you're going to be like, damn, I'm good. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'd rather deal with my own shit, right? You put everybody's problems in the middle of a circle, I promise you, you're going to take your problems back. I promise you're going to take your problems back. All right? I'm telling you. So we don't compare out here, yo. We are not comparing. All right? What up, Q? So look, this is how we build ourselves up. This is how we build ourselves up. All right? Let me give y'all some more. What else we got? Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. Here we go. Face whatever it is you're avoiding. You see what I'm saying? Face whatever it is you're avoiding. A lot of times we allow things to have power and control over us, but the only reason is because we ain't facing it, right? Let me give you an example. I love examples, right? I love to drive things home. So let's say you got a thorn, right? Let's say you got a thorn. And let's say there's a thorn in your arm right here, okay? Let's say there's a thorn in your arm right here. And so every time you try to sleep on this side, it hurts, right? And so you can't sleep on your right side. So 3 months go by, 6 months go by, a year go by, 2 years go by, and you like, I can only sleep on my left side because there's a thorn on my right side, and every time I sleep on my right side, it hurt. It's because you're avoiding taking the thorn out. So instead of you taking the thorn out, it might hurt a little bit. It might sting. It might be a little uncomfortable. But I promise you, when you take the thorn out, you will now be able to sleep on your right side. You see what I'm saying? You got to learn how to face the things that you're avoiding. I know it's hard. I know it's hard, right? Everybody has things in their life that they try to avoid sometimes, right? Sometimes we try to mask it with other things, right? Oh, I'm gonna just go do this in my life, and that's gonna cover it up. I'm gonna just go do this, that's gonna cover it up. But it's like, yo, at some point in time, you gotta pull the thorn out. You gotta look at the thorn and be like, it's there, it's bothering me. I can't sleep on my right side. I'm gonna take it out. At some point, you got to do it like that. You got to take the thorn out. You got to. You got to take the thorn out. You got to address what it is you're avoiding. Stop avoiding things. Because here's the kicker. The more you avoid things, the bigger of a procrastinator you become. All right? And money loves speed. Money loves speed. So the more you procrastinate, the more you running away from money. I really hope you understanding what I'm saying. The more you procrastinate, the further money is running away from you, and you're parting ways with money because you're running away from what you should be facing head on. And then you're starting to procrastinate around that thing because you don't want to address it. Instead of just addressing it, getting it out the way, and then moving on with your life. You see what I'm saying? So I keep my Lambo in Charles Schwab. Hey, for real. Real talk. Like, yo, let me tell you, it's extremely easy. I remember when I was living in Vegas, I went to go test drive a Porsche Panamera, right? I went to go test drive a Porsche Panamera. And it was like $1,700 a month, right? And to lease it for like, I think it was a 2-year lease or like a 28-month lease or something like that. It was like $1,700 a month. I think actually a little bit cheaper, more like $1,400. And so I'm like, right now, that's one trade. That's one swing trade, right? But I'm like, what's the point, right? Because let me break this down for you. You got a car, right? It would be, in my opinion, very dumb to buy a Lamb, a Rolls Royce, all of this stuff, right? Unless you made, and I'm talking about in the bank cash money, you got 35, 40 M's, right? There's people that got that and don't even got a Rolls Royce. But I say that to say, if you get in a swing trade, and let's say you make $1,500, right? Let's say it takes you 2 days. All right, cool. That $1,500, you could be like, oh, I'm going to go lease my luxury car that I want, a Porsche, a Lambo, whatever it is, right? I'm going to lease it. But that $1,500 that you pay for the lease payment a month, if you take that same $1,500 and you go put that into a dividend stock right now, and you do that for a year straight, that monthly payment on that car, $1,500 a month times 12 months. Let me do the math real quick. $1,500 a month times 12, that's $18K a year. If you put $18,000 into a dividend stock, that dividend stock will literally, it could make you a millionaire. Like legit. Over the next 5-7 years. Right? I'm not saying don't get nice things, but when you are trying to get to a certain place, you got to learn delayed gratification. And you got to learn how to be like, all right, just because everybody else is doing this thing doesn't mean I'm going to do it. That's what I love about the Prosperity Collective too. Me and Marcel, we not flashy guys. Like, look, right? Y'all ain't seen me wear a watch in a minute, right? I got watches. I just ain't worn them, right? My car is in a storage in Vegas right now, right? I'm in Colombia. I'm chilling. We're not flashy. Our mission and purpose is to help change your life more than just trying to flash and dangle some carrots in front of you to make you think that we get into it. Let me take a picture in front of a Beamer and a Mercedes Benz. Let me go rent out a Maserati and go do a photo shoot so I could make you feel like I got enough money and you could believe and buy into me. We ain't doing that. That ain't what it's about over here. You feel what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's about helping y'all really get to the real money. The real money. Not the fabricated money, not the Instagram money, not a couple $1,000s. It's about over time seeing your brokerage account grow, right? And then understanding the power of buying common stock and dividend stocks and understanding how that can change your life over the next 2 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. By the time you 10 years older, everybody in the Prosperity Collective in the next 10 years should be able to say I'm a millionaire. Legit. If not sooner. If not sooner. I'll give it 3 to 5. It's going to be some people that's going to crack an M over the next 3 to 4 years. I'm very certain of that. It's going to be people by the end of this year crack their first 100K. I'm telling you, Prosperity Collective is different, and that's why I love it. It's not about the materialism with us. It's about helping y'all see y'all. We just putting up a mirror and helping y'all just understand that you had the power the whole time. See, here's the thing. I'm not trying to make you feel like you ain't got no power so I can act like I'm your savior. I'm trying to remind you that you always had the power. I'm trying to help you understand that you always had the power. It's different over here. What will Russell say? It's not the fucking same. It is not the same. It's not the same. All right? It is not the same, man. I cannot say it enough. All right? Listen. Last thing I'm gonna share with y'all. Build yourself up. You gotta visualize. You gotta take time to visualize. All right? You gotta take time to visualize what you want. You gotta take time. You gotta take time to close your eyes, right? Close your eyes. Open this eye right here. Okay? Open your mind's eye. Close your eyes and visualize. Okay? Close your mind, close these eyes, open this eye, and visualize. And then you're going to find your prize. All right? Real talk. That is what I want you guys to understand. You got to learn how to visualize, and you got to do it often. Same way you got to write stuff down. All right? It's time to visualize. Because if you can see it, you can achieve it, right? You can achieve it. But if you can't see it, then you can't achieve it. If you can't see it, how you going to write it down? So visualizing and writing it down They both work together, right? If you can't write it down, then how you gonna see it? If you can't see it, then how you gonna write it down? You gotta visualize the joint. Visualize what it is you want, and then take time to feel what it feel like. Whatever it is that you want, what does that feel like to you? Feel that energy. Feel that energy right now. And then understand that it's going to come to you. It's going to come to you. You know what I'm saying? So, that's how you build yourself up, man. All right? We could talk about stocks. We could talk about, charts. We could talk about, what stock is going to do what. But I really want you to understand that. What I really want you to understand is it's much, much, much more powerful when you could master yourself and then get to the money. Because it's a lot of people that got the money, but they don't even have a relationship with themselves. Right? Without money, they would be crashing out. They would be a nobody. Right? You got to be a somebody before you got the money. And before you get the money. Be grounded within yourself. Be grounded within who you are. Be grounded within where you come from. Be grounded within everything else. Right? The money gonna come. But it's about building yourself up. And you do all these things right here, you're gonna be ready for the blessings. You're gonna be ready for the miracles. You're gonna be ready for the abundance. You're gonna be ready for it all. Like, I sincerely mean that. I sincerely mean that. Right? We got 200 members. Right? We got 200 members now. And we started this Discord on February 1st. So that's February, March, April. So we just hit 90 days. In 90 days, we got 200 members, right? That's amazing. But I say that to say, we just getting started. It ain't been 3 years. Watch what happens December of next year. That's going to be 2 whole years of people investing with us. Everybody going to be rich. Rich. People going to be retiring their mamas. People going to be doing all kind of crazy stuff, right? Buying houses cash, buying their car cash, paying off their student loans, paying off their debts cash, right? That's what this is about, right? So stay with us. If you are not with us, make sure you get with us. All right? Make sure you get with us. Join the Prosperity Collective because it's way deeper than option trading, right? Option trade. It's like, man, listen. It's a group of people that are being prosperous inside and out, right? And building real wealth, not just financial wealth. Nah, being good people, doing good things in the world. It's not just money based. You feel what I'm saying? Gerald said, Brielle said, stay locked in with the PC. You'll get all the keys, freedom, wisdom, prosperity. Yeah. It's all about that inside work for real. This subject, fire, I'm here for it. I wouldn't have made it out of Chicago if I stayed in my head. Hey, that's heavy. See, so you from the Chi, so you know what it's about. So you already won. So Gerald, you already playing with house money. That reminds me of a song. Lil Baby said in a song he was like, Everything I got is a profit because I started out from zero. So it's like you already winning. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, I know people from Chicago, South Side, Inglewood. I know some people from West Side Chicago. I know it's not easy. And salute to you. You know what I'm saying? Salute to making it out of there. I know that's a crazy, crazy, crazy place. All right? So shout out to you, Gerald. Much respect for that. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, you got to get up out of your head. You know what I'm saying? So this is this how we build ourselves up, y'all. This is how we build ourselves up. All right? So money, yes, but it's so much more than money, and I cannot preach that enough. And one last thing I'm going to leave y'all with is be a giver. Be a giver. You know what I'm saying? Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Give. Give. Because let me tell you something. You heal yourself when you give. Hear what I'm saying? Stop being selfish. Stop being lazy. Give. It could be wisdom. It could be a couple dollars. It could be your time. It could be a conversation, right? Give. Because givers always get the most in life. And it also fills you up spiritually and internally. And don't give out of ego. Give out of servitude. I'm looking you in your eye and I want you to understand what I'm saying. Be a giver. That's my charge to everybody watching this right now. Be a giver. If you have a YouTube channel, right? Or if you want to start one, do it. I don't care what the niche is. Give that content to the world. Stop being stingy. If it's been something you wanted to do for somebody, do it. Give that energy. Because I promise you it's going to come back to you tenfold. It may not come back to you immediately, but it's going to come back to you. That's my charge to everybody watching this right now. Go be a giver. Stop being selfish. Stop being in this little corner. Go be a giver. Like seriously. Find a way to give of yourself out of servitude. And tell me that you don't even feel better about yourself in your life. Because when you give, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it. You're choosing to do it. And when you do something that you don't have to do, but you're choosing to do it, you always going to be rewarded spiritually. So I want you to understand, giving is a spiritual practice. And this is what I mean when I say build yourself up and strengthen your muscles. Right? Because listen to this. When you give to others, you're giving to yourself. Right? When I see y'all in the Discord, I'm talking to the trader that I was when I first started. So I'm giving to y'all because I'm giving to who I was. You see what I'm saying? So go be a giver. Go be a giver in this world. Please. Go be a giver in this world. Stop being afraid. Stop. Go be a giver. Okay? Give in whatever capacity that your heart is calling, that your spirit is calling. Go be a giver. That is my charge to everybody watching. Stop being afraid. All right? Stop being in your little corner in your cage. That's you living in your head. All right? If you want to help the inner city, go give. Go help. It only makes the world a better place. All right? Adam said, you have no idea how happy I am I found this group. Hey, man, we happy that you found us too. Seriously. Mason said, I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel. Yeah, man. Real talk. Whatever it is, I don't care. It ain't about nothing except doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you want to make a YouTube channel about food reviews. I don't care, right? This world is meant to be lived, and you deserve to be doing what you want to do. You could be making YouTube videos about massage techniques. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. But what matters is you taking the time and doing it and giving your energy into the world, because when you put good energy out into the world, it's always going to come back to you. It's always going to come back to you, right? It may not come back to you in the way that you think it is, but it will always come back, and you will always be taken care of in abundance, more than you even thought you needed, or more than anything, because you gave so much. You know what I'm saying? My goal is to give more than ever. That's one of my goals. I just want to be a giver, right? Be a giver. That stuff matters. All right. I ain't saying go be a fool and go get taken advantage of, but you know what I'm saying? When you operate out of mental abundance, you are able to give. You feel what I'm saying? So always remember that right there. Always remember that right there. All right? So, that being said, like I always say, man, make sure you get up out of your head. Go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right? And like always remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right? I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope that this video, this live, was impactful for you. I hope that it did what it was supposed to do. And I hope that you guys took something from it. And I hope that it made you a better person in some way, shape, form, or capacity. All right? I'm going to see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay solid. And y'all stay smooth. Peace.